Dateline, 1984, summer. The place, northeast England, where the Coley Tye meets the grey North Sea. Far below, in the windswept streets of Tynemouth, something truly amazing is happening. A new phenomenon has arrived. Supergran.
Dinner threat! I'm on my way! Supergran will save the day!
Hang about! Look out for Supergran!
Come on, please, relax. Hurry up, please.
The time, 8 a.m., the Grand Hotel, Tynemouth. For actress Gudrun Ure, star of the £2 million super series, another grueling day's filming has begun. What lies ahead will depend largely on the weather. Today, Tynemouth is cold.
I've lost the spring.
Oh, you are a clever thing.
Yes, I know. All right. I think...
Jim, I've got some extras to pick up at the top of the road.
Top of the road.
Oh, God. I think it's the bit... You and me, Clock Tower.
Clock Tower, is that with a skipper?
When Tanya, you know, the traffic warden.
Oh, that lovely lady,
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, good.
I think it's that. I don't know.
I hope
God
so.
only knows. I haven't a clue.
No.
But I think that's it.
Hello, Marie. How are you? How are you?
Set in the mythical town of Chiselton, this hugely ambitious television series revolves around the action-packed adventures of frail, snowy-haired little Granny Smith, who is miraculously transformed into a champion of the innocent, scourge of the villain, Supergran.
Right at the beginning, Inventor Black's invention is directed in the wrong place, you see, and that's how I have all this power. Because the invention goes off, boom, outside the window, and I'm struck with this bolt from the blue.
You're not any old little granny anymore. You're amazing, terrific, a real supergran.
Supergran!
The first Supergran book, by Forrest Wilson, was published in 1978. Since then, over 500,000 paperbacks have been sold. Producer Keith Richardson decided to turn Supergran into a television series.
I liked the books, but I actually was deeply in love with the character of Supergran herself. I'm absolutely more convinced than I was when we set out that the character is universal. All over the world, everybody has a grandmother, or granny, hopefully, as they call them. We've deliberately made an action series, you know, where the dialogue is less important than what is actually taking place on the screen. So I hope that the marketing possibilities are enormous. And I think worldwide it should be a very successful program. It still has a very good message. I mean, it's a classic confrontation of good versus evil.
Yeah. Yes, actually, you've got the line saying here you are with all your super skills, super speed, super strength, X-ray vision, but you've not...
In adapting the Supergran books for television, writer Jenny McDade developed existing characters, but also created new ones. Notably, the Scunner, played by Ian Cuthbertson, arch-villain and eternal enemy of Supergran.
In the books, Tubbs' uncle, who was a sort of big gangster, wasn't clearly defined. So I thought when we were opening it out into a television series that was a really good opportunity to create a really strong character.
Now to turn myself into the greatest, most powerful person in the whole of Chiselton.
The Scunner Campbell, I thought, should be a large person to contrast with the diminutive little Supergran.
A Scunner is a sort of the Scottish pits. It's the Scottish, most disgusting thing there is in Scotland. And I react to Gudrun in exactly opposite ways. So she will say something's good and I will say it's bad, and so forth.
So you go back to
An extremely small parley, Inspector.
We've put in 6.5 months on this series, and it's been quite exceptional because despite long days, every day, it's been tremendous. We've all enjoyed it thoroughly.
clear now on rehearsal, please, chaps. Keep this clear, please, on rehearsal. No.
The search for the right location was started by unit manager Tim Dowd, who with designer Ashley Wilkinson made a happy discovery.
Well, the brief we were given by the producer, the designer and I, was to come out and find somewhere where supergran could be done with a cartoon style to it. The idea was to make a cartoon, but it had real people in it, real places. So the designer and I came out to Tynemouth, A, because we thought it might be rather nice to film by the coast. But when we got out here, I mean, we couldn't believe our eyes. The designer, who's lived in the northeast all his life, had never ever looked at Tynemouth with the view of using it as a location. And he had never seen it from that point of view. And he was astounded, because you see here this strange statue that we're standing on. There's funny little clock towers down Front Street. None of the buildings have a straight angle to them. Everything's higgledy-piggledy. They're all different heights. All the roofs slant in different directions.
In the early stages, the demands on every department were enormous. Designer Ashley Wilkinson had many problems to overcome.
The unit manager and myself have decided on the type of location that we're looking for and the area and what the location has to offer, both from the design point of view and from the unit manager's requirements. It's a matter of moving in and sizing it up, drawing the plans. If we're in the studio, every facility is there for us to get in. They've got enormous doors that allow us to carry huge pieces of scenery in, whereas a lot of locations, the flattage has to be cut down into such small pieces that it's as big a job putting the thing together once we're in there as it is to get the flats in the first place. Professor Black's laboratory, they created quite a lot of problems purely because of the size of it, for one thing. It took an immense amount of propping, quite a lot of construction. In particular, the windows, it generated problems with the electricians in so much as if we wanted to use this interior as a wet weather cover, it was going to be quite an enormous lighting rig in order for us to use it. So we kind of overcame the problem by installing fluorescent tubes in the window reveals themselves and then putting false windows actually over top of that. So it was just a matter of walking in, throwing a light switch, and you had instant daylight, whatever the time of day or night.
I'm Bill Shine, and I am playing Inventor Black. And I suppose, in a sort of a way, Inventor Black is responsible for the whole series, inasmuch as he, with his ridiculous inventions and things, he started supergran off on her super course, do you see?
The magic ray machine, Grandad.
Nicked this very day by the greatest rogue in all Chiselton. My dear, one flash of the magic ray could turn perfectly ordinary people into super people.
Super people?
At an age when most actresses prefer sedate dramatic roles, Gudrun Ure threw herself into the most outrageous and exhausting role of her career.
Catching an aeroplane out of the sky, I ask you, who catches aeroplanes? Nobody in their right mind, and certainly not me. And at my age, the baddie took off in the helicopter. I took in a deep breath and I leapt up and caught onto the skid pad things and put it down to the ground. And I actually collapsed in giggles. I thought it was so hysterically funny. The flying bicycle is very spectacular and is a beautiful invention. And we actually sort of, ride it along the street, of course, as well. But when it takes off, it's marvelous, and its wings flap and it's got lights. And I think it's really a joy.
the skimmer, which again is an idea from Inventor Black, that it's something that can kind of drive along the roads and fly through the air and skim across water. And the problem presented, it had to carry 5 people, it had to be drivable and safe to drive. We had a Volkswagen chassis that was completely stripped down, the bodywork, the seats, everything was taken off it. So all we ended up with was the floor pan, the 4 wheels, an engine and the steering wheel. And also it had to be able to be flown so that whatever we built as a full-size vehicle, we could reproduce it maybe as a 5th scale, so that we could cheat and actually fly the model as opposed to the real thing.
Oi, look! Could be an alien, or even E.T.
Yoo-hoo, laddies! Toodaloo! No, I think it's just me granny. Come on!
How's that, lads?
Yeah, where's Bob Austin?
The style of the sets and props was followed through with skill and imagination by the makeup and wardrobe departments. Wardrobe supervisor, Tom Robson.
Well, the main problem with Supergran has been the great number of characters we've had. We've had a fantastic amount of characters.
For a take then, please.
And each of them individuals.
2164, take 1.
Camera. Action!
We've had beauty queens, fat ballerinas, magicians. Lovely characters. I mean, the names as well have helped to establish how they were going to turn out. One of the characters in it is called Angus MacSpurn, who was Billy Connolly. And we had to have him in a sort of modern Rob Roy. We put him in the brightest tartan we could get, and bagpipes and a black bonnet with a red bow on, and so you could see him a mile away. Billy Connolly, of course, was the right kind of bloke to play a part like that, because he's got a great sense of humour, and he entered into the thing, the spirit of it, straight away. And no matter what I wanted to do to him or put him into, he would have accepted, and thought it was great. Other characters we've had were Doreen Glut, Baroness Glut. So, I mean, that, again, you can go, the sky's the limit. You could be covered in furs and coronets. And her daughter, Lady Valerie Glut, who was, we played her down. We made her look sort of shabby. That was Patsy Rowlands, who had bright red hair. So we put marvellous things on, like bright pink. So there's clashed and things like that.
Hey? Mum? Oh, there's got to be someone out there who'll love that face, surely.
Then, of course, we had a problem with the wedding dress. She had to be dressed in a wedding outfit, but again, a silly wedding outfit. So I think we had to make that in 24 hours because of, the rush we had on.
What the goal of your dream, then?
Oh, aye. I had a football team, and they all had to be in golden football strips. So it's getting things, getting somebody to make you a set of football strips in solid gold.
The scriptwriter's given us some weird and wonderful things to work out. We've had a whole football team of Bobby Charlton lookalikes, so that's a case of making about 30-odd bald caps for 3 days filming, so we can put a new one on every day.
The Rovers wear satin strips and have their hair streaked at Leonard's. Our boys wear hand-me-down shorts. Base the hairstyle on Bobby Charlton. That's how far apart we are.
You mustn't give up hope, Mr. Small. We'll all be out there cheering you on, right? Reed.
Makeup supervisor, Sam Lloyd.
I think most people have seen the type of wigs you can buy in department stores and things like that, but ours are a little bit different. As an example here, they're all made to fit individually each person, and they have a very, very fine hairline that's knotted into lace, one hair at a time. And you can see the base is very, very light. It only weighs a couple of ounces, and it's all knotted individually by hand. So obviously something like that takes a fair while to make, and they're pretty expensive. We're talking about maybe £400 for each wig.
It's a bit red, aren't they? I think I've got something.
I think the main problems that the makeup department's faced is the weather. We started filming in January, so of course we've had snow, sleet, which destroys wigs and people's faces turning blue.
Hang about, look out for supergran. Hang about, look out for supergran.
Once in production, word quickly spread about the Supergran series, and soon a host of celebrity guest stars were arriving in the Northeast, eager to take part.
Is that a Rolly Roofless Master Crook?
Well, it could be, on the upper end.
Don't cry, darling, else you'll make Mummy cry too.
You know, for a moment there, Miss Witherspoon, I almost thought it was Jane Fonda sitting there.
You know who that is, don't you, Granny? Yes, of course I do. It's, you know, it's, wee Henry Cooper.
What's happening? What's this?
He just went for a walk.
Brenda, quick, follow this snake's knickers.
Supergran, you just cleared the world record by 3 feet.
Ace!
For those actors playing recurring characters, the Supergran experience turned out to be a happy one.
Supergran was always so
Chiselton's Inspector Muggins is played by Robert Austin.
I know, Rupert. I know. But I'm afraid we've got no choice, Rupert. We've got to bring her in.
So you know, like Jerry was doing before.
This is one of the sort of most relaxed productions I've ever worked on, because the crew and the cast and everybody were incredibly friendly. And it was a new experience for me coming up to Newcastle too, because I'd not really had much experience of Geordie people, and I think they're just fantastic.
Many of the local actors were experienced club performers. For them, filming was a whole new world, presenting unexpected problems. Comedians Alan Snell and Brian Lewis.
Can you put the actors on the minibus?
We're on our way. Thank you.
I didn't realise actually how much harder work it is on television.
Yeah, but there's a lot of difference in Alan. You know, like, you do a club.
You do your show and
you do a gag and you get an instant reaction.
That's right, yeah.
Whereas when you're in the cameras there, you do a gag, whether it's visual or verbal.
There's no reaction.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference, isn't it?
I know,
one of the big differences.
Yeah, but what I mean is when you come home at night from the club, you go in, you've got a set act. You do it for an hour, whatever, and then you come home, you don't feel so bad. But when you're on television, you're chopping, changing, and you're there all day, and you're shattered, aren't you, physically?
Yeah.
I've never been so tired in my life, never. I sat in the club one night, I came back and I fell asleep. Never ever done it in my life.
Were you in the middle of your act at the time?
For club comedians, the biggest departure of all was stunt work.
Well, look, that one when I got in the van when there were a stunt guy short, and I had to take his place. And I was between two stunt fellas. They were driving this van, we did about 40, and into a little narrow gap, down the water, up the ramp, and onto a floating pontoon. My mouth was wide open coming down that corner.
We've had a stunt, haven't we? In every single episode.
Yeah.
Once, at least.
Your number's up, you silly, shockily skimmer stealer!
Batman, Superman, Iceman, Spider-Man, Batman and Robin too. Don't wanna cause a ruckus, but behave a ruckus. But I've got a match for you. She makes them look like a bunch of fairies. She's got more bottle than United Dairy. Hang about, look out for supergran.
To shoot certain stunts, the film crew found themselves in uncomfortable situations. Dave Dixon, cameraman.
Sometimes we do shots which can look very simple on the screen, which can be very complicated for everybody concerned. There's one shot we did on the cliffs at Cullercoats, which is just a policeman and one or two other people going down a cliff, and that took a lot of work for the stunt people to get that scene. And a funny thing happened to us on the way to getting that scene. We started off in the mouth of the cave, the tide, the old enemy coming in, and the tide was coming up the beach, and it was getting closer and closer, and still the stunt people weren't ready. And then it got to us, so we took our shoes and socks off, and then it came a little bit higher, so we rolled our trousers up, and eventually we got the scene after about an hour, and there was myself and my assistant up to our waists with no trousers on, which again amused the rest of the crew. But it was early April and it was fairly uncomfortable. We nearly gave up at a certain point, but I won't go into that.
Over 70 hours of film have now been shot, and back in the cutting room, film editor Mike Pounder labors night and day to put the whole series together.
A film editor has to be very objective with the material that comes in, because it's no good a cameraman coming in and saying, oh, well, it was freezing cold, you know, and I was hanging by my fingernails to get that shot. I mean, if the shot doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's the way it goes. I mean, it's hard luck on them out there in the cold and in the rain. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, so they've got to go and do it again.
Meanwhile, on location in Tynemouth, the last shot is imminent.
Right, we stand by then, please. Roll 467 3193, take one.
Action.
Good evening, everybody. This is the news.
Cut. Thank you.
Thanks very much, everybody.
And so the shooting of Supergran is over. Months of post-production will follow. But for now, celebration.
We promise not to bring you back from any fault.
Every producer will tell you that his programme is different, special, a little bit exciting and all that. But I do actually think this is a fairly unique departure in children's programming.
Yes, good run. Could have come and sort of raised me glass here.
Thank you very much.
Arranged for many years to be Supergran for years.
I just think that everybody, cast, crew, absolutely everybody who worked on it, worked magnificently. And it was 6 very hard months. And I think every frame's been worth it.
That's my boy.
Yeah, I've just saw you, Anthony.
Well done,
Nancy.
Nancy.
It's all going to your head.
Yes.
Is it?
God, look, here's to Supergran.
Goes like this.
You see, I am a rather old child. As a child, I was very serious, sober, conscientious. So now I'm breaking out, you see. And the kids, they just accept me, and that's really given me a good feeling, just to be able to talk to them and they to feel comfortable to talk to me. And that, I think, is really what I hope the series does, that they'll all feel happy and comfortable with Supergran.
The paper thing breaks. The napkin thing. They're in the middle of the paper. What happened to the clip thing? She dropped it.
They understand her mentality. She's a batty old. She's a funny old thing. They just feel happy with her, and that's what I'd like. I'd like the kids to just enjoy themselves. We've enjoyed ourselves.
She's a serious granny. A serious granny. She'll do things that you never saw your granny do.
Is there nothing that she can't do?